to another Tao Panda training. This is day number 3, or the 3rd session, if you will. If you've been following along with us thus far, then that's awesome. And hopefully you've gotten a little bit more of a handle on our 3 main stances that we've been focusing on. There are more stances, but we'll get to those. Your front horse stance. Your feet should always be about a foot up away from your shoulders. If you look down, knees bent, not exactly 90 degrees, but about 60, 70. You just don't want to be up here, barely bending your legs at all. You want them bent, so you're here. Hips tucked, feet facing forward, shoulders down, no matter what we're doing. Then you've got our next stance, our side horse stance, and our transitions to those. Again, hips tucked, so you can feel this tension in your back thigh. Your hips are square to the front. Your back heel is down, and you can just barely see the toes on your front foot if you're looking above your knee. And again, you're grabbing the ground with your toes. And then, of course, transition to the other side. Same stance, side horse, but you're facing the other way. We're going to stay in these 3 stances for today. However, we will be getting a lot of time in with our full horse stance. So I hope you're prepared. Make sure you have plenty of water, because this one might be a doozy today. If your legs have been getting tired during our previous 2 sessions, then they will definitely get tired today, and you might have to buckle down and really push yourself on this one, because your legs might be burning, but they'll be getting stronger too. So, without further ado, we're going to start with our stretches, same as last time.
Yeah, I'm ready for the stretches. I've been
a little stiff today.
Yeah, a little stiff, tiny bit.
We've got Micah, of course, and I guess I'll start with my arms. I'll do the pull across. And again, try not to let your arm drop like this. You don't want to be like up high, just like straight across. And really pull it in. Same thing with the other side. And then I like to, like I'm going to touch my shoulder, then pull it up at the elbow. Same thing with the other side. Then I also like to do this one from time to time. You lace your fingers together like this.
Oh, I've never done this one.
You pull them back. How'd that go for you?
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Did it get up here? This area?
Yeah.
Does it get your arms? Here.
It also gets kind of like here-ish a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Alright. Now make sure you stretch your legs and hips. For today especially, I want to introduce you to this stretch. You're in your full horse stance. your hands on your knees, fingers in helps. And then you're going to bend your elbows. And then you're going to twist to one side so that your elbow makes, like this shape. And you're going to really kind of lean into it and use your arm to kind of pull your knees away from each other. This is going to get a really good stretch in your groin muscles and in these joints right here. I'll give you some space so you can do it.
Yeah. I just wanted you to be able to demonstrate it. Oh, that's also nice for your back.
And then twist the other way. Okay, now while you're here, straighten up so that your legs are making, like the letter A. And just reach straight down to the ground. Try to lay your palms flat. If you can't lay your palms flat, that's okay. Go as far as you can. And just hold them there. Now, take your hands, turn them back so they're facing behind you once you're bent upside down again, and kind of walk your hands back towards yourself. Walk your hands through your legs.
Ooh.
And try to hold it just as far as you can. Nothing too crazy. And just hold it, hold it, hold it.
Is that right?
Mhm. You gotta straighten your legs up.
Yeah, I wouldn't reach the ground at all.
Hey, it's okay. Just relax. Try to feel your inner thighs relaxing. Take a nice deep breath in. And you breathe out. Try to focus on your inner thigh muscles relaxing, especially up near your groin and your thighs in general, because they're really going to pull on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, we're going to stand up straight. Not too fast, in case your blood needs to get itself back in order. Okay, arms out. Now we're going to turn and take one hand, touch the opposite foot. We did the other day.
Ooh.
And you're going to look up at your other hand at the sky while your other hand's on your foot. Okay, come back to the middle. And we're up. And we're going to cross over to the other side. Looking up at the sky. Okay, now we're back at the middle. And we're up. Okay, now I also like to do these ones with, one leg out.
Step back.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, we went over this one last time.
I know.
Then you kind of reach over. I like to wrap my hands around my ankle and kind of pull myself down into it.
Ooh. That one gets you pretty good. Ooh.
Also, a little bit of foreshadowing with this stretch. Hey, what's to come? What does our future hold? Find out next season on...
Kill yourself.
What? Jesus Christ.
Ugh.
Hey. Let's see. I don't know if they'll be able to see me, but real quick before we get started, there's one more leg stretch that I really like because it does the back side of your thigh and it does your gluteus Maximus.
Ooh, scoot over. I'll sit next to you.
Micah loves this one.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite stretches.
Well, while we're here, put your legs in front of you and try to touch your toes. If you can't reach them, that's okay. Breathe
if you can't
deeply.
Reach 'em, join 'em.
See? Micah can't reach his toes.
Nope.
Pull your toes back. There you go. There you go. But he takes deep breaths, and when he exhales, he tries to feel his leg muscles relax. And it's very difficult. It can be very I used to only be able to go this far. Now look at me. Because I do this stretch every day, even when I don't do any Kung Fu training. Yeah, even on the days where we don't train, if there are stretches that are really difficult for you to do, then that means you probably should be doing those stretches even on the days where you're not training. This way, you can increase your flexibility, and you increase your flexibility, you increase how strong you can get, because your muscles can do more than they could previously. But back to this beautiful stretch that Micah loves, because he hates that other one. You take one of your legs, we'll start with the left leg, and you're gonna bend them, and you're gonna put them on the other side of your right leg, about halfway from your knee and your hip, about halfway up your thigh. And you're going to make sure your body's not twisted or anything, that you're still facing forward. And you're going to take him, and you're going to bring him into yourself. Now, it's really common to kind of like scrunch up this side while you're doing this. Try to press that side down and keep your back straight. And really pull that knee in like you're hugging him. And this will stretch this side of your thigh all the way down to your butt. Get that nice bun stretch. Because what we're doing today is going to be working your leg muscles. So we need to put extra attention into making sure we start off right. Okay? Back to the middle. Take your right foot, bend him, put him in the same spot, and pull him in. And again, try not to let yourself get scrunched up. Keep your back straight, and try to push that hip down so it stays flat as you're pulling this knee in towards your chest. Goroshka. Goro. Goro-chan. Irisuda. Dui. Go pop up. Oi, 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 oi.
Pop up.
Goro.
Goroshka.
Pop up. Oi, 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 oi. Pop up. Oi, pop up. See, look at Raya. She's so good. Alright. And there we go. While we're down here, if you want to pop onto your knees and then lay your feet flat behind you like this, and bring your feet together so that your toes are overlapping from your right foot. They're overlapping your left foot a little bit, like this. Take your arms, raise them up, bow down, and then you want to lean back. Okay. When your arms are tight, for me anyway, That stretch can really work all the way up my bicep, up in here to my my chest, my muscles that are around my clavicles. But it can also stretch your back because you're kind of putting an arch in it. I mean, that's the goal, is to kind of put a little bit of an arch in it, and it gets my back like right underneath my shoulders for me. Goro-chan, I'm not gonna be wiggling. Her face, she's like, got it. I'm not wiggling.
Stoy.
I'm not wiggling, guys. Yosh! Now, make sure you get a nice big gulp of water, because we're getting into it. I don't know what time it is.
5:16. I'm turning my phone on silent so I don't
Disturb
everyone.
Good idea.
People just decide to.
I totally already did that. That's all on my phone making all that noise. Oh, I don't want it on vibrate. Sorry, guys. We never get messages or like notifications. Suddenly, we got friends. I don't know where they came from.
What's the name? I want to find out who these friends.
Yeah, seriously.
All
How
right.
do you turn off the? It just stays on vibrate. You can't unvibrate it. Did that, bro? See that? Kringle.
I'll press down again.
I did.
Huh.
Where
Yeah, I
is
don't
it?
know.
Okay.
I guess vibrate is the lowest it'll go.
Alright, I'll put them over here.
Learn how to work a phone.
Yeah.
Day 3.
Oh my god. Alright. Let's begin with our salute. Ching Kai Shek. Chiso Su.
Oops.
Now, we're going to go straight into our windmills for today. Our upward windmills. Get in your positions.
Is this it? Is this my position?
Yeah, you're usually there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
You're usually a little bit farther back. Tiny bit, but you can be a little closer. You don't have to be back up against the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in our front horse stance. Our feet facing forward. Knees are bent about 60 degrees. Our hips are tucked underneath us. We're not letting our butt stick out. Our hips are tucked. And while we're we're grabbing the ground, remember, take your toes, and you're not going to ball them up like this so that you're like on top of your toes pretty much, but you're going to try to grab the ground by scrunching them like more this way. And you try to feel yourself grabbing the ground like your feet are hands. Weirdly shaped hands.
We're reverting to our chimpanzee state.
Yes. Okay. Now that we're nice and straight, we begin. Nice big circles. Now, with this Daichi Chuan, you want to make sure this is our third session. So with this one, this nice and easy one, as far as speed goes, try to feel a connection between your arms and your legs. So when I bring my right arm up, for example, I'm not just moving my arms, I'm actually slightly bending my right knee, and I'm bringing my right hip up ever so slightly so that my hip and my leg are moving with my arm. Same thing for the left side. I am bending my knee a little bit, and I'm pushing this hip, my left hip, with my hand so that as it comes up and it crosses my body, my hip is also moving with it. And I'm doing it for both sides simultaneously. So if you notice, if it looks like I might have like a slight sway at times, it's because I really do. Because I'm trying to feel that connection. So while we're in Tai Chi Chuan, that's the time to experiment with that, to try to feel that connection, how your legs are actually a part of this motion, and it's not all just your arms. That's why it's so important to keep your knees bent, keep your feet as straight as you can, and to keep your hips tucked underneath you, because your power will always come from your legs. Make sure you're breathing deeply, and you're making full range circles. No tiny circles, full range circles. Not way up here either. Just about that hand's length above your face. Just out, just ever so slightly out. When it comes to side, if you're going high enough, but you're doing this number, see, my arm isn't coming all the way across. It should completely cover your body as you bring it up. None of this where it's like barely that. No, should completely cover up the front of your body. So if something were to come at you, like some sort of projectile, for example, you should be able to knock it away. Full range of motion with each arm. Okay? Breathing deeply. Now, after this next big deep breath in, we're going to do Paltron, or go as fast as you can. And make sure you keep your form. You don't start standing up. You don't start making tiny circles. Really grab the ground with your toes, tuck your hips underneath you, and breathe deeply. Okay? Inhale. And Paltron. Alright, Sheng Chuan. Remember, tighten your fists. Make sure you're breathing deeply. And remember, you're not just squeezing your fists. You have to keep a tension, like you're flexing your muscles, but you're making circles while you're doing it. And it's not just your arms, it's your whole body. So your legs should be more tense. Your hips are tucked underneath you. And you're really trying to turn that big wheel. But there's so much resistance because it's so big and heavy. Okay, now Tai Chi Chuan, relax.
Someone asked a question.
Oh, okay. Qualifications for what you do. Last thing in sorry, I don't know what to do with your name. But to answer your question, I do have a black sash in San Soo Kung Fu. And as part of my training, helping to pass on the art is what I'm supposed to be doing.
But I wouldn't say that I'm a master or anything like that. I'm far from it. I still consider myself a student. But like in Micah's case, for example, and anyone who follows along with us, I consider myself just to be a senior student helping them train. So, I mean, but having the certificate and the sash itself would be my qualifications. But then again, it's not like I have like a mastery of the art or anything like that. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. So now you're going to turn to your left side, which will be our right, to a mirror image. Okay. Now you're going to slow it down. Now remember our transitions. You're going to bend your right leg, right knee, as your left arm is coming down. And then you're going to start to turn to the left as your left arm is coming back up. And then right before your right arm comes up to finish the circles, the dual circles, you're going to drive your knee into the ground with your back. Oh my god, drive your heel into the ground on your back leg. Okay? So nice and slow. You're going to keep this motion going. Drive your heel into the ground. Okay? I'm going to do it one more time. Nice and slow. Your left arm comes down across your body. You bend your right leg. You start turning as your left arm comes up. And right as you complete that circle, your heel goes into the ground and your hips should be square. And your hips should be tucked under you so you feel that tension in that back thigh. And again, if you look down, I'm actually going to go at a slight angle here. Yeah, should be fine. If you look down at your knee, you should just barely see the tops of your toes. So you need to keep that front leg bent. Okay? Oh, you do?
Yeah, it would be better if you just straighten up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because then
I
my
see what you're
arms
doing.
will be here.
Because you're going back
Yeah,
that way.
I'll still hit you.
I
if you're
thought you were
diagonal.
gonna be in the middle, but you see, but
Yeah.
no.
I gotcha.
Okay, so we've got our heel down, our hips are square, our hips are tucked. If they're not tucked, you're not feeling that tension in your back thigh. You want to feel it. And your front knee is bent, so you can just barely see your toes. Remember, if you feel like you're wobbling back and forth, means your feet are too close together this way. They're too narrow. So take one of them and widen it up just enough for you to feel like, okay, I'm grounded. I'm not going to wobble away anywhere. Breathing deeply. Making nice full circles. And while we're doing Tai Chi Chuan, just like when we were facing the front in our full horse stance, try to feel the motion of your arms. Try to synchronize them with your legs and your hips. It's not all just arms. You should also feel like your legs are helping your arms to complete these motions. You should feel your muscles engaged as your arms are making these revolutions around and around. Okay, make sure that back heel stays down. Okay, grab the ground with your toes. After this next deep breath in, we're going to Pao Chuan, so as fast as you can. Okay? Ready? Okay. Pao Chuan. Sheng Chuan. Breathe in deeply. Even though it might feel like you're short of breath, you want to breathe faster to get all your air in. You have to force yourself, like we discussed last time. Breathe in deeply and exhale just as deeply. Going to be difficult. It's just like after you run and you sprint and you want to stop and catch your breath and you feel like you need to breathe quickly. Breathe nice and deeply. Now you're turning that wheel, full tension, your whole body, even your legs are tense, 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 because you're using those legs, using your hips to help you turn that big wheel. Your stomach is tight. It's just taking every ounce of you to turn this wheel. Okay, Tai Chi Chuan, relax. We're going to transition to the right side, 180 degrees. Okay, so slow it down. That left arm comes up while your right arm is down. Bend that front knee. And if you have to, now's the time to move your back leg. If you need your stance to be wider once you're facing the other direction. Bend that front knee. And as that right arm's coming up, we turn. Then as the left side is coming to finish that dual circle, so when you drive your back leg into the ground. Back heel. Why can't I say heel today? Your back heel into the whole leg. Drive your leg into the ground. So again, nice and slow. Right arm comes down while your left arm is up. Bend the front leg. Turn, 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 turn. Drive your back heel into the ground. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, we're going to bend the front leg. If you need to move your foot over to make a wider stance for your balance, now's the time. Turn, turn, turn. Drive your heel into the ground. And when you do that, when you drive your heel into the ground, the reason why I say to drive it into the ground is because you're not just turning into the next stance, but if you focus on driving your heel into the ground, then you truly are making a transition of this motion, and you're not breaking the motion, but you're transferring it, you're transitioning it to the other side. And when you focus on springing that, if you imagine your leg that you've bent while you're turning is a spring with a bunch of tension in it, as you turn and then you drive your heel into the ground, you're releasing all of that tension. And because you drive your heel down, your hips should be square, and they should be tucked under you because you've already put in that tension that you have in that back thigh when you tuck your hips underneath you. So now our only thing we have to worry about is when you look at your knee, you can just barely see the tops of your toes. I'm gonna back up if I get some more space.
Well, that's why I moved up, so you should be okay.
Oh, I got you. That's fine, don't worry. Okay, we're making our windmills. Grabbing the ground with your toes. Nice deep breaths. And again, if you feel like you're wobbly, then take one of your feet and just move it wider. Don't shorten your stance, but make it wider. This way you've got a larger foundation to work with. Okay, after this next deep breath, we're going to go into Paltron, or as fast as you can. Paltron. Shongchuan. Squeeze your fists. Squeeze them, squeeze them, squeeze them. Hold that tension in your muscles like you're flexing in the mirror, but you're making circles. Make sure your hips are still square. Hips are tucked underneath you. And really grab the ground. Squeeze your toes up against the ground. Your whole body should be tense, tense, tense. Your stomach, your chest. Breathe deeply, deeply, deeply. Okay, Dai Ji Chuan. Okay, now we're going to face front again. Slow it down. As your left arm's coming down and across your body, you bend that front leg. Then as that arm comes back to the front to say hello, is when you turn, drop both your heels into the ground, you tuck your hips underneath you. And the most important thing that's going to help you transfer all of that energy and power is to imagine that you're taking your knees and you're like flinging them outward so that you're making a square. You're making a box with your legs. And you're taking it and you're flinging it open. Okay? The corners of the box. Okay? So, nice and slow. Arm comes down, you bend that front leg. Now your back leg should still be facing this way a little bit, so your back knee is going to be facing inward a bit, while this front knee is already starting to face this way. But as you bring this hand around, you're pulling your whole body forward and you're throwing your knees outward. So that you end up with a nice sharp box.
Here, do it real quick. Just once.
I got you.
Well, they can see it.
Okay. Nice and easy. Bend that front leg. Throw your knees out. Okay, I'll do it one more. Bend that front leg. Throw your knees out. Push your heels down. And now we're back in our full horse stance. Thank you, sir. I'm actually going to grab a quick swigger.
throw my knee outright. I hope he got your answer.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
He didn't say anything after that, but...
Yeah, I don't know when he asked.
But I was thinking we should get that and hang him.
Yeah, we can get him.
Okay.
We're in our
Horse
full
stance.
horse stance. Exactly. Let me move over a little bit so you can see the glory.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm not Glory.
But you're trying your hardest,
I
and
am
that's what
trying.
it's about.
Yeah, I really am. I'm the example of all the issues you may run into while doing it. So, I hope that that's understood. Maria is the one that is the trainer because she's done it for years. I haven't done it that long, and so I'm hoping that I make the mistakes that some of you might be making so that she can correct me.
Okay, we're doing Tai Chi Chuan, our upward windmills. Now we're going to slow it down. And we're going to change directions. Now we're doing our downward windmills. And remember, these arms need to be alternating. Make sure you're not doing this number where you're going in the same direction, because it does happen. Okay, we're grabbing the ground with our toes. Our feet aren't wide like this. They're not pointed inward. They're straight, as straight as we can do it. And again, you might feel some tension around your ankles, and your feet, the backs of your calves. That is normal, because your feet might not be used to being stretched, especially towards your Achilles tendon and above your heel. But it shouldn't be painful, but there should be tension. Make sure your hips are tucked underneath you, your shoulders are down, they're not scrunched up. Making nice big circles, we're not making tiny circles. And just like before, when we were going upward, I said Tai Chi Chuan is for feeling the connection from your arms all the way through to your legs, your hips and your legs. Same is true for the downward. And for a lot of people, the down windmill might be easier to feel the connection with your body, because when you come downward, if you imagine you're almost squeezing your body together and you're bringing this hip forward on that same side as your arm, and you're really using your leg should be turning ever so slightly with the motions of your hands. You're not just stiff legs, just moving your arms. Your power comes from your legs. So while we're in Tai Chi Chuan, every time we're in Tai Chi Chuan, and I say just go back to relax after our Sheng Chuan, you should be trying to experiment to feel that connection. Feel your hips and your legs helping to pull your arms down, like they're almost connected with a string or a pole, or like the wheel on a train, how they have that pole that connects them as it's chugging along. It's that sort of feeling. When your arm comes down, your hips are moving with you. And you're breathing deeply. Okay, now after this next deep breath in, going into Pao Chuan as fast as you can. Okay? Pao Chuan. Sheng Chuan. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Squeeze it till you feel like you can't squeeze it anymore. Grab the ground with your toes. Scrunch those toes. Make sure your butt didn't start sticking out. Keep those hips tucked. Okay. Back into Tai Chi. Now on these, you're really going to have to force yourself to breathe deeply. The breathing is the hardest part for some of these. Okay, now we're going to slow it down. We're going to turn back to your left side horse stance. Arm comes up, and while the right side is coming across to pull down across your body, that's when you turn towards that left side while the right arm's coming across, and you're going to use that whole range of motion to imagine it's connected to your hips, remember? So you're going to use this whole range of motion to drive that heel into the ground. And look at this. You use that finishing circle when it comes across your body to turn your hips straight and square. So you're already ready to go. Okay. So the left arm comes across. So when you bend that right leg, then you start to turn to the left side while the right arm's coming across. And on this one, I want you to feel that. Pull your hips straight. Feel that connection. You've got that leg bent, and while you come across, while that right arm comes across your body, use that to almost throw your hips straight to the left side. And then drive your heel into the ground. And you're ready to go. From here, you could do anything.
Just the once. So I can see it.
Breathe deeply.
I know, that's my biggest struggle is breathing.
Okay, nice big circles. You're going to come across. Start turning. And use that motion to put your body into the stance. Okay. And now that we're here, I'll go forward if you want to stay back.
I want to transition.
Nice.
My foot lagged.
Make sure you're not making small circles.
Yeah, my foot lagged a little bit too. So let me try it with reach.
Okay. You might want to come forward a little bit. There you go. Nice.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that was nice. Did you feel it?
Mm.
Because it seemed like your legs were like locked in afterwards.
Yeah, it goes from this to
Like that. You almost feel like, oh, now I could like run, I could jump, I could do whatever. Like once it locks in, it's like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, in this. Hi.
Hi. Now, if you're doing your transitions while we're doing it, and you don't necessarily feel what we're talking about, like that lock-in, where it's like, now I could do anything. I could do windmills, I could throw something out, or I could change directions again, or change stances. That's okay. This is only the third session that we've done. But today I want to really focus on trying to feel that connection between your arms and your hips and legs. Okay? And the feeling will come with practice. First, you'll practice 1,000 times, and before you know it, you'll ask yourself, what? How long have I been doing this for? You know, like, as far as, like, doing it properly, it's just like, holy crap, one day you'll just realize, like, I've actually been doing this perfectly. Like, this is awesome. Okay, we're making our windmills. Our back heel is down. Taking deep breaths. Make sure you've got your balance. You're not wobbling. Your shoulders are down. Your hips are square. For this next big deep breath, going into Paltron as fast as you can. Paltron. Shuttletron. Everything is tightened up. Your arms, chest, your stomach, your legs, your feet even, because you're squeezing the ground with your toes. Okay, Tai Chi Tron. Now, we're going to transition all the way to the right side. Slow it down. That right arm comes up. And as it's about to drop down across your body, you bend that front leg. And as your left arm's coming around, that's when you're going to turn. Then again, use that circle to bring your hips square, like you're going to grab onto something and you're pulling your body in. And at the same time, you're going to drive your back heel into the ground, okay? Really pull it into place.
Careful gun.
Very nice. You lost a little bit of
I
balance.
lost the balance.
I could tell.
And I find, like you were saying, when you can take that second to slightly move,
Yep.
I have to. Like, if I just try to go
Like a straight
straight,
line.
I guess that wasn't too bad. But I feel like my legs are too close.
Yeah.
And I'll lose my balance. Like,
and
for
for
now,
some
we'll do this
people,
step.
Their feet might actually be like opposite. Like their front foot might end up being like this.
Oh.
So now it's like they're twisted.
Yeah.
It happens because your feet move while you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why, here, I'll come over here. You know, if your feet are too narrow, you won't be able to keep your balance. So you have to widen it up, not this way, across this way. Okay, make it as wide as you need to so that you feel firm. Then once you've got that, if you notice, if I were to turn just directly like this, without moving my feet at all, this leg is going to be moved. You know, now my feet have crossed themselves and I'm off balance again. So, what you do, like if your feet are, for example, shoulder width apart, but in your side horse stance, while you're coming around to transition, this is the time when you bend that front leg. You've shifted so much weight to it that moving this back leg back behind you that's the time to do that. Because once you drive your heel into the ground, you're now proper and your feet are back to shoulder width apart. If you were to try to do it some other time, you would lose a lot of your power. So if I were to transition and then move it, now I'm just flopping my foot down because I'm driving this foot down and I'm trying to whip my body back, and now it's all shifted to this new leg that I lifted up and drop back down. So that's why when you're transitioning, you go ahead and take care of, it's going to take a while to get exactly the distance. You might still have to adjust once you transition, but that's fine. But you're creating that habit of preparing and finishing your transition. Okay? So now we've turned, and we're facing the right side. Yep. Do it again.
Of a mishap. Oh, that was bad. Okay.
It's fine. Take your time.
Slow down.
There you go. There you go. Alright, now try it again. Slow, slow, slow. But then at the very end, when you bring your arm across, then whip it.
Okay.
Don't whip it halfway through. Whip it right at the very end, right before that arm.
Okay.
There you go. That's a kid. How did that feel?
It was nice.
Do you feel like your hips are square? What are you doing?
Getting in position
Mm-hmm.
so that I'm not in your way either. I didn't know where you would be.
Trying to slack off a little bit.
It's like,
Just kidding. For some reason with the down ones, I'm always so nervous I'm gonna slap you. So I turn diagonal.
oh, whichever. You're not gonna slap me.
No, that's fine.
I can go forward more.
No, that's fine.
There you go.
No.
I'm good. I'm right here.
Fine. Okay, our hips are square. Your back heel is down. Hips are tucked underneath you. Grabbing the ground with your toes. Breathing deeply. Your front leg is bent, so you can just barely see your toes over the top of your knee. Okay, after this next deep breath in, remember, deep breath in. We're gonna go into Paltron as fast as you can. Okay? Paltron. Full circles. Shoulder. Make sure your hips are square. Make sure that back heel is down. Back knee is almost straight, but not locked. And you're squeezing your fists. Your arms are tense, your chest, your stomach, your legs even, because you're trying to use your legs to help you turn these big wheels that are stuck. Huge stone wheels. You gotta turn them. You're making those ancient grains. You gotta grind them up. Just like they used to do in Stonehenge. Okay, Daiji Chuan. Okay, now slow it down. You're going to transition to the front, and you're going to throw your knees out. You lost like all of your momentum. What happened to you? Beautiful. Do them again. See now your hips, your legs, your feet. God.
My feet are crooked.
So, what I want you to do is when you start to transition, right? Transitioning, try to keep this tension in this knee, not just that one, but also this one. So as you're coming forward, you remember goat stance? I want you to feel that type of squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Then your knees are out, okay?
Okay.
Try that. And you're squeezing them, and then you release them.
Oh.
How was that?
That was good.
You felt a little bit? Try
Yeah.
it one more time. And hopefully you too, practicing your transitions. This is why we take time. Might seem repetitive, but they're very important. Squeeze, squeeze. Nice. That was good. Did you feel that one? Because it's hard. It's hard to feel any sort of drive. You know, when you're going from the middle to the side, you can feel that drive because you push that heel into the ground. Especially, I love doing the 180-degree transitions because I feel like you get that full range of motion. You're whipping, you get to the point where it's almost like you're just whipping your body into the next thing, and you're all ready to go, your hips are tucked. Then you go forward and you're like, okay, that was great. This short little transition, but there's so much in this one transition from here to here, okay? So as I was explaining to Micah, and how I was trying to explain earlier, if while you're transitioning, you imagine that back leg is like a coiled up spring, how it has so much tension. When you go to drive your heel down, you're kind of exploding all that potential energy into what you're doing. Same thing is true even for the small transitions. So, we're coming forward, back to the middle, doing your windmills. You bend that front leg as your left arm's coming across your body, and as the right arm comes across, you shouldn't just feel like you're turning. You want to really feel that your legs are into it, okay? So you bend that front leg, and it's going to feel like a lot of your weight is on this leg, but you're not completely, standing on one leg. You still have a little bit of tension and pressure left on this leg. You're just bending this one, and then if you imagine that you're squeezing your thighs together while you transition, and that compression is going to be released as you push your knees outward. And that's a really exaggerated example just to give you the idea for this transition. But if you imagine that tension, and right as that hand comes across to finish that circle that you started, so when your knees fly outward, your hips go underneath you, and now you're ready to continue. Okay, let's go ahead and get a water. It's all downhill from here. No, I'm just kidding. It's gonna get tough though, so. Okay. last time we introduced some new exercises, and we're going to do them again today. So, we're going to transition from our windmills, and as is custom, let me move over a little bit. And as is customary, we finish off with our last round of some really nice, strong windmills, and really squeeze everything that we got out. Okay? Right now we're in Daijichuan. Try to feel your arms, your legs, your hips, all moving together. Imagine that they're all connected. Connected. As you're making circles, imagine everything's connected as one piece, like a circle. These windmills are your foundation. Might feel like just flailing arms right now, but I promise you that you will start to see just how effective they are in imparting some of the basic foundations into your body. Okay, taking deep breaths. Shallow breath Micah, they call them.
The fainting goat stance.
Yes. Okay, deep breath in. We're gonna go to Pao Chuan. And on this one, I want you to lower your stance a little bit. Grab the ground. Tuck your hips underneath you. And use your stomach. Your stomach and your hips and your legs to really help you pull your arms. It's not just your arms going really fast. It's your whole body is helping you to pull these arms fast. Okay? Even though you might not be able to go very fast, go as fast as you can using your whole body. That's why it's so important. Don't do tiny circles. Go as fast as you can while keeping the big circles. Okay? Ready?
Hi.
Pao Chuan. Sheng Chuan. And again, your whole body is tight. You're not just moving your arms slowly. You need to turn these big stone wheels using your whole body to do it. Okay, Daijichuan. Okay, now, I'm gonna slow it down. After your right arm comes down, you pull it to your side. Left arm comes down, pull it to your side. Now remember, with this one, you want to keep your shoulders back, your fists back and on your hips, not down here where your legs connect, not up here on your waist, but right here on your hips. And you want to keep them back, and you want to try to bring these elbows in as much as possible. So it might feel really tough, might hurt, you're going to feel your shoulders squeezing themselves together, but you have to. Okay, so from the side, 1 and 2, here we are. We're not letting our, this is wrists on your hips, hands on your hips, okay? Not down here, not up here, right here. Okay, now, same as last time. Jesus. You're going to punch slowly, nice and easy. You're not going to keep your arms tense. And remember, nice straight wrist, not bent up, not loose, straight. So you just have this tiny slope so that when you hold it at eye level, it's not all at the back of your hand. You can see that gradual slope off of your hand. And your thumbs are tucked underneath or wrapped underneath your fingers, underneath your knuckles. Okay, so you're going to come out, 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 out. Keep that hand upside down, about level with your eyes. Turn it. Pop. That's your pop right there. Same here. Pop. Just like we did with the windmills, try to feel your hips behind it on this one. While this arm's coming out, you're rocking this hip forward, pop, and using that to drive with your whole leg. Drive that arm out. And remember, just because you're popping them doesn't mean that you're leaning forward or rolling your shoulder too far into it. Nice and straight. Pop. Pop. Full range of motion. Make sure you're bringing those arms all the way back, back, back. I know it's a lot to concentrate on. Keep your arms back. Turn them at the end. Keep your hips tucked. Grab the ground with your feet. Hold tight. My legs are burning. My arms are tired. It's all you hear in your head. Just focus on the motion. Now, you're going to take a deep breath, and you're going to start to go as fast as you can. So bend you don't want to hear this. Bend your knees a little bit more. Grab the ground with your feet. Get your hips underneath you. And we're going to go as fast as we can. God, so sweaty. Keeping your full range of motion. Okay? None of these tiny little punches. All the way back to your hips. No shortcuts. And as far as your breathing goes, multiple punches are going to be happening with one long breath, okay? Don't shorten your breath. You could hyperventilate. You don't want that, okay? So, with me now, as fast as you can. Okay, both arms out. And in. Bend your legs. And you're going to push them out. Like you're pushing out a big wall or something. Breathe in. Out. this last one. Hold it. Then you're gonna pop your hands open. Spread your arms nice and wide as you can. And then squeeze them. Tilt your head back and bring it back in.
Is this Tai Chi one?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's why you pop them open and squeeze them closed. Full range of motion. Now, when you're squeezing them in, squeeze one kind of high right here, then pop them open. Next one, squeeze a little bit lower, kind of like the middle. Pop them open, squeeze the next one a little bit lower, like around the middle of your stomach. Okay, we're gonna go 3 different heights, and then you're just gonna start back at the top. Okay, ready? High, middle, lower. Okay, now we're going to go as fast as we can, maintaining those 3 different heights. Okay? And we're not going to do tiny ones. No, no, no. Full range of motion. Okay, and feel it in your hips. How do I feel this in my hips? Allow me to demonstrate. You squeeze, and you're not caving in your whole body. Try to squeeze like this. Squeeze this way. Not hunched over like this, but with your hips tucked under you, back straight, shoulders down, squeeze. Okay? Then when you pop them open, remember last time we said you're going to straighten your legs a little bit? Well, today, focus on the main thing, which is actually getting your hips pushed up underneath it. Not just straightening your legs, but you're pushing your hips underneath it, okay? So, squeeze. Then you pop, and you see my whole chest, everything is lifted upward because my hips are also put forward and up, okay? Then you squeeze. Again, hips are under you. You're not scrunched over like this. Then you really push your hips up. Then you bend your knees again. You squeeze. Then you pop your hips up. And you squeeze again. Okay, now we're going to go as fast as we can. Going with the 3 heights. Control your breathing. Okay, ready? Okay, squeeze. Peltron. Really push your hips. Okay, open, hold it, and squeeze. slowly, slowly, slowly. Now we're going to squeeze them. And we're going to pull them up into an X. We're going to transition to our side horse stance to the left. And as we come up, bring this X down and round. Okay, so we squeeze, squeeze, squeezed. Now we pull them into an X while we're bending that right leg to make our transition. All the transitions have a flow of movement with them. And we bring it down, and then when we drive that heel into the ground, so we come around. I'll demonstrate them. Squeeze while we're transitioning. It goes from an X to I've pulled them apart now, and while I come down, you see this leg, I'm even pushing more spring in it, and it had some like this. It's got that spring compression. This whole leg is tight, too tight. Then I'm coming around, it's even more now. Comes around and down, and I drive that heel into the ground. So a little bit more at speed. So I squeeze, comes around, down. Squeeze. Okay. Ready? We're almost done. Yee! So I'm sure most of you are thinking, but me, I think it's not enough. Here, Riddle.
Hi. You think it's not enough?
Yes, that's right.
You think we should do more?
Yes. Okay, so we transitioned. Now, remember, your thumbs, as Mike is demonstrating, beautiful. Shoulders.
Shoulders.
This is something that I still struggle with, is keeping my shoulders up, back, not scrunched up, but just up. He's got his hands turned back. Now he's gonna turn them. And then he's going to start coming upward with his pinky curled inward. Then he stops about here, pulls them in, then he turns them. That's the most important part of this whole exercise, is that ripping, that twisting motion. If you imagine once you reach the top, you're gonna grab something and rip it. Then you come down, rip it. Before you even move, you should rip. There you go. Now he pushes down while exhaling. Beautiful. You didn't move that time. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm gonna join Micah and stop slacking. No, I have to teach. We're gonna rip it. Exhaling on the way down. You're not tense on this one. It's all about the range of motion. Okay? Pao Chuan. Remember, focus on these ripping. Full range of motion, no tiny-ins. Up, and down. And you're tense. Making this claw. Tense. Okay, now you're down. When you come up, you're gonna bend that front leg. Turn. When you come down, drive that heel into the ground. Okay. Down, you come up and down.
Oh, so it's on the.
Then we go to Dai Ji Chuan.
Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I got this right. So you up, down. This is the lean.
No, on up.
Oh, okay.
So when you're up,
Okay.
starting your ups, that's it. Then you drive that heel down. Drive your heel down.
Driven.
Heel still loses space.
What?
There you go. Your heel's bouncing a little bit. Alright, give it one more.
A little off balance.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, and I also need to move my foot.
There you go. That's better.
Is that better?
It's your shoulders.
Yeah, my shoulders
Don't
are my worst.
Don't act like me. I want you to be better than me. Better than me. We're down. Remember, focus on the twist on this one. We're not hard shong chuan. We're just nice and loose. It's all about the full range. So remember, pinkies inward on the way up. Stop about 90 degrees here. Twist. Down. Okay, Pao Chuan. Focus on the ripping. Rip. Shong Chuan. Again, It's like you're pulling something down. Pulling something up. Okay, now you bring your arms up and down. Okay, take a quick water break because we're going to do our last exercise. Heavily focused in our legs. And that's it for today. So if you've hung out this long, that's awesome. We're almost done.
And if you feel like your legs are dead already, it's not just you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, my legs are shaking.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, shake them out a little bit. A little extra stretching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ready?
Hi. Can we be like this? Side by side?
You want to be that way?
We could. I mean, I could go out a little bit.
Why do you want to be that way?
No, I just didn't know.
No, face this way.
Oh, face this way.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh.
Okay, so our final exercise for today. Gonna get into your front horse stance, full horse stance. Make sure your hips are underneath you. We're gonna pull our arms back. Okay. I'll try not to let your arms slip during this. I'm gonna try to do the same thing. Now what we're gonna do is you keep your back straight. And you're gonna lower yourself down as low as you can go. And then you're gonna pop up. And just like we did before when we were doing these, you're gonna pop up with your hips. So actually I'm gonna demonstrate real quick. I'm gonna show multiple side this way and then sideways. So we're here. When your legs get tired, try to focus on squeezing those elbows back. Okay, we go down, 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 down. Pop up. Okay, from the side. Down, 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 down. Pop up. You see, with hips first. The hips are what's popping me up. Not my legs, nothing, just hips. It's almost like I'm compressing, putting my hips on top of, again, some sort of giant spring, right? Down, 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 down. And then they pop me back up. Hips first. So we're going to go down slowly, and then we're going to use our hips to pop ourselves back up. We're going to go through this a few times. You ready?
Hi.
Do you feel like counting?
Do I feel like counting?
Yeah.
We can.
I'm asking you personally if you feel like being the counter.
Oh, you can count.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ready?
I didn't know if you were going to do it in Russian.
go. And when we go down, you breathe in. When you pop yourself up, so when you exhale, okay? E. San. Soo. Kung Fu. Chi. Ju. Shi. 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 Shi san. Shi si. Shi wu. Shi qi. Shi ba. That's it. We did 18. Now, we're going to try to do the same thing as fast as we can. All the way up, all the way down. So shake them now, shake them now. So you'll get to the point where you won't need to shake them between. Ready?
Hi.
So I'm going to count 18 in my head. And we're going to try to do this again. Okay, here we go. Keep your full range of motion. No tiny ones like this. This isn't a techno rave. We're training. Okay. All the way up, all the way down. Here we go. One for good measure. Now, once you get to 18, because you might not be as fast as we are, and that's fine, you'll get there. Now, arms back. Lower your stance as low as you can go, maintaining your form, okay? So if you start leaning forward, might be too low for you. Go up a little bit so that your back is straight. And keep your knees out. I don't want to see your knees coming inward. Keep them out, okay? Go down as low as you can. And just stay there. Stretch them, shake them, shake them, shake them. Day number 3. Stuff just got real. I'm sure that's what you may be thinking. I'm late. All right. Now, gonna do our breathing exercises to bring us back
down to earth.
Yes. Okay. Remember, start with your knees bent, feet about shoulder width apart, your arms gonna be down here, and you're gonna turn your palms up, similar to when we're doing these, and breathe in and straighten your legs. Exhale and bend up. One more. If you made it through this one, you're a champ. And we can't wait to see you, or if you're watching the recorded video version, still can't wait to see you next time, which will be Tuesday for number 4. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, with 2-day break, Sunday, Monday, every week. Every other day, and then 2-day break, Sunday, Monday. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So, thank you so much for doing this with us, because it is hard, grueling, intense training. And, you know, honestly, we just want to know someone else is out there killing themselves alongside us.
Hi.
And you get stronger along the way. And that's the main thing that we want to see. So, wipe the sweat off your chin. And we're going to do our salute. Let's move forward so you don't slap the thing again.
Oh, yeah.
Ching Kai Shuk. Chi So Su. Again, thank you. Xie. And we will see you next time. If you have any questions, make sure you always let us know in the comment section. We don't always see it right away, but give us a few minutes. We do keep an eye on it. So, yes. That's it. Bye.